5 Maritime Mysteries. 1. The Palatine Light, 1738. The Palatine Light, one of New England's most persistent ghost ship stories, dates back to the wreck of the Princess Augusta in 1738. The ship was carrying German immigrants fleeing economic hardship and religious persecution. Its fate was sealed by a series of unfortunate events, including severe storms, starvation, and disease that decimated the passengers before it reached the New England coast. According to legend, as the ship approached Block Island, treacherous local residents, known for their wrecking practices, lured the ship into the rocks by setting false beacons, intending to loot the wreck. However, the survivors' accounts were grim. Some said the crew abandoned them, while others suggested that local islanders murdered the remaining passengers. A passenger named Frau Heiliger reportedly cursed the islanders as she died. Soon after the wreck, strange lights began to appear off the coast, leading to tales of a ghost ship haunted by the souls of the doomed Princess Augusta passengers. Obscure facts. The Palatine Light appears in different forms depending on the observer. Some witnesses reported seeing a full, glowing ship with flaming masts, while others have seen just a glowing orb hovering over the water. Block Islanders, particularly in the 19th century, believed the light was a warning of impending storms. During one sighting in 1810, an attempt was made to row out to the light, but it vanished as the boat approached, lending to the belief it was a supernatural phenomenon. The name Palatine comes from the Palatinate region of Germany, where many of the immigrants on board hailed from, but the ship was named Princess Augusta, causing confusion in the historical records. Theories. Natural explanation. Atmospheric refraction or bioluminescence from marine life could cause the eerie light, although scientists have not been able to definitively explain it. Psychological phenomena. Some scholars suggest that local folklore, combined with psychological stress from isolation, might cause residents to see and interpret natural phenomena as the ghostly Palatine Light. Supernatural activity. Many continue to believe the light is a supernatural manifestation of the doomed souls who died in the Princess Augusta wreck. The Palatine Light continues to be reported by fishermen and sailors, remaining a focal point of New England maritime lore, and it is still seen today, especially on stormy winter nights. 2. The Vanishing of the SV Resolven, 1884. The SV Resolven, a schooner found abandoned off the coast of Labrador in August 1884, is one of the more puzzling maritime mysteries. The vessel was discovered adrift, with no damage and no sign of the crew, but with personal effects, fresh food, and everything in place. This has led some to compare it to more famous ghost ship cases, though the Resolven has never received the same level of attention. At the time of its disappearance, the Resolven was transporting timber from Quebec to the United Kingdom. The investigation revealed no signs of struggle, violence, or a hurried departure. It was as if the crew simply vanished into thin air. Obscure facts. The Resolven was first reported missing by the crew of the Albert, who noted that the ship's sails were furled, and its course seemed to have been set deliberately, yet no crew members were seen on board. Despite the Labrador region being known for its rough seas, the weather was relatively calm at the time, making sudden abandonment by the crew unlikely. Historical records show that the ship's logbook, which might have provided answers, was missing, although the cabin showed no signs of disarray, suggesting that it was deliberately taken by someone. Theories. Sudden illness or poisoning. One possible explanation is that the crew may have succumbed to an illness or accidental poisoning. Food contamination or exposure to toxic fumes from the ship's cargo could have incapacitated them. Piracy. Although piracy was not common in the North Atlantic, some theorists suggest that the crew might have been attacked and abducted by pirates, though no evidence supports this. Natural disasters. It has been suggested that a rogue wave or sudden weather event may have swept the crew overboard, but the lack of any distress signals or damage to the ship makes this less likely. Supernatural explanation. Local folklore has added a supernatural twist to the story, with some believing the crew was taken by the phantom mariners, spirits of drowned sailors who capture the living. No further evidence has emerged over the decades, and the disappearance of the Resolven remains one of the lesser-known but deeply strange ghost ship mysteries of the 19th century. 3. The disappearance of the HMS Atalanta, 1880. The disappearance of the HMS Atalanta in 1880 is a maritime mystery that combines the dangers of naval life with inexplicable tragedy. The Atalanta was a British training ship carrying 281 naval cadets on a routine voyage from Bermuda to England when it vanished in the Atlantic. Despite the ship being one of the best equipped of its time, and experienced sailors aboard, no trace of the ship or its crew was ever found. The British Navy launched a massive search and rescue operation, involving more than 20 ships and covering thousands of square miles of ocean. Reports suggested that a severe storm had passed through the area, but other ships in the region survived unscathed. The Atalanta's disappearance was baffling not only because of the loss of life, but because no wreckage or debris washed ashore, which was highly unusual for a shipwreck. Obscure facts. The Atalanta was originally the HMS Juno, a frigate built in the early 19th century. It was later refitted as a training ship for young naval cadets, many of whom were on their first long voyage when the ship disappeared. At the time, the ship was noted for being top-heavy due to its tall masts and heavy rigging, which may have contributed to instability during rough weather. A message in a bottle, purportedly from a cadet aboard the Atalanta, was found on a beach in the Azores months after the ship's disappearance. The letter described the ship encountering a severe storm, but the authenticity of the message has never been confirmed. Theories. Capsizing due to top-heavy design. Naval experts at the time speculated that the ship might have capsized due to its top-heavy construction. If the ship flipped over in a storm, it could have sunk quickly, explaining the lack of wreckage. Storm-related accident. Some accounts suggest the Atalanta may have been caught in a freak storm or waterspout, which could have overwhelmed the ship before any distress signals could be sent. Bermuda Triangle. While the Atalanta did not vanish directly within the boundaries of the Bermuda Triangle, its proximity has fueled speculation that the ship might have been affected by the mysterious forces often attributed to the area. The disappearance of the HMS Atalanta is still unexplained, and it remains a haunting reminder of the risks faced by even the most advanced ships of the time. 4. The Phantom of the Freya, 1902. In 1902, the German bark Freya was found adrift near Valparaiso, Chile, without its crew. The ship, a three-masted bark, was in excellent condition, with its cargo intact and no signs of violence or struggle. The discovery of the deserted Freya has perplexed historians and maritime investigators for over a century, as no clear explanation for the disappearance of its crew has been found. The Freya had set sail from a Chilean port, carrying nitrate, a valuable commodity at the time, when it was last seen near the bustling shipping lanes off the coast. Chilean authorities found the ship adrift days later, with no signs of life aboard. Initial investigations revealed that the ship's logbook was missing, adding another layer of mystery to the case. Obscure facts. The Freya had a history of successful voyages before the mysterious disappearance. It had been a reliable vessel, known for its speed and efficient handling. Reports from sailors aboard nearby ships claimed that the Freya was seen sailing in a straight line before it was found adrift, indicating that the crew had abandoned it quickly, but deliberately. A ship's dog was reportedly found aboard, though there were no other signs of what happened to the crew. Theories. Abandonment due to a false emergency. Some speculate that the crew may have believed the ship was in immediate danger, possibly due to a fire or gas leak in the hold. However, the absence of any damage or fire makes this theory less convincing. Piracy or mutiny. While piracy was rare in that region during this period, some believe the crew might have been taken hostage or killed by pirates, though the cargo was untouched. Supernatural or paranormal activity. The story of the Freya has sparked various supernatural explanations, including theories that the ship was cursed or haunted, which led the crew to abandon it in terror. Despite its well-documented history and the substantial investigation that followed its discovery, the Freya's fate remains one of the most puzzling maritime mysteries of the early 20th century. The unexplained disappearance of the Freya's crew and the perfectly intact state of the ship has left this case with more questions than answers. To this day, no solid clues have been uncovered regarding what led to the complete abandonment of the ship, and maritime historians continue to speculate on this unsolved enigma. 5. The Phantom Ship of the Chaleur Bay, 1867. The eerie sightings of a burning ship in Chaleur Bay, which borders New Brunswick and Quebec, have been reported for over a century, with the earliest recorded account dating back to 1867. The most consistent description of the phenomenon is of a three-masted schooner engulfed in flames, often seen drifting in the bay during the night. This ghostly image has been a mainstay in regional folklore, and dozens of witnesses over the years have claimed to see the ship burning, some even hearing the cries of the crew. What makes the Phantom Ship of Chaleur Bay particularly puzzling is the consistency of the sightings, despite the absence of any confirmed shipwreck or lost vessel matching the description. Various theories have emerged over the years to explain the phenomenon, ranging from scientific explanations to the supernatural. Obscure facts. Some witnesses claim that the ship can be seen just before major storms, leading locals to believe it is an omen of disaster. These sightings have often been accompanied by sudden shifts in weather patterns. In the late 1800s, some locals attempted to row out to the burning ship, but it always disappeared as they got closer, as if it were an optical illusion or mirage. In the early 20th century, during a particularly intense sighting, a Canadian Navy patrol ship reportedly searched for the burning vessel but found nothing. While the sightings have decreased in modern times, some reports of the burning ship continue to surface, often linked to periods of heightened maritime activity in the region. Theories. Optical illusion. The most commonly accepted scientific explanation is that the burning ship is a type of mirage known as a fata morgana, where atmospheric conditions cause distant objects to appear closer or distorted. Under the right conditions, distant ships or landforms might appear as if they are burning. Remnants of a historical shipwreck. Some local historians have suggested that the ghost ship might be linked to an actual shipwreck in the region, possibly one that was never recorded or whose records were lost. According to some accounts, a vessel carrying immigrants might have caught fire and sunk in the bay in the early 19th century. Supernatural explanation. As with many maritime ghost stories, the phantom ship has been tied to curses or tragic events. One popular local legend claims that the ship was a smuggler's vessel, whose crew perished in a fire after being caught in a naval skirmish. Despite attempts to explain the sightings through science, the Phantom Ship of Chaleur Bay remains a captivating mystery in Canadian maritime folklore, and many residents continue to regard it as a harbinger of danger. Conclusion. These 5 maritime mysteries, some lost to the depths of history, others persisting as eerie legends, continue to fascinate and perplex. From ghost ships to vanished crews, the sea holds secrets that refuse to be uncovered, and these stories are just a glimpse into the countless mysteries that lie hidden beneath the waves. Though modern technology has solved many nautical enigmas, others endure, reminding us of the ocean's vast, untamable, and sometimes terrifying nature. As we reflect on these strange tales, we are left with more questions than answers. Could some of these stories have logical explanations that remain just out of reach, or are they manifestations of forces beyond our understanding? Whatever the truth may be, maritime mysteries continue to intrigue us, offering a haunting reminder of the unknown. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed these maritime mysteries, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unexplained.